Welcome back. I'm Steve Knutson, Microsoft MVP for Office Apps and Services, and this is the third in a series on controlled documents in SharePoint. In the previous two sessions, I talked about how to do the basic site setup and also created some workflows as well. So if you're interested in getting to this point, start with video one and you work your way to here. What we're going to do now is we're going to enable the search functionality within our system to allow us to search for controlled documents. So what I've done since the last video is I have made a couple of small changes. I have added in a couple of additional columns. So I've added in the document type and department over here. And what I've done is done that using site content types, so that by attaching them to the content type, they'll appear in both libraries. So over in my site settings, I started with the site columns. And in here, I've added my new additional site columns in here. And you'll see this department one here, I've linked that to a term set. So if we just click onto the thing here, you'll see I've selected my term set down here. So I've chosen the manage metadata content column type and then added my manage metadata term set down here, which has all of my different terms that I can use. And then the other thing that I have done is for the second one, which is our document type, what I've done here is a choice list. I can add to the choice list later because it's a site column. If I add once, it will automatically update to all of the libraries that I have this site column associated with. And you'll see down here my list of types. So over in the library, in my published library, you'll see I've got a whole bunch of documents in here now. And so then the question is, how do you get this and make it like a nice search experience? So I start by going over into my managed properties in the SharePoint Admin Center. So from Admin Center down to more features and then search. And then within search, I have the ability in here to go through and update my search schema. So I'm going to choose this top option here, manage the search schema, which takes me to this screen, which I've filtered because it does take a little while to get down there. And what I've done is I've created some refinable strings. So I've created refinable strings 5, 6, and 7, and 8. Let's just have a look at one of those if we go to number 5. What we're doing here is we're mapping our metadata column or site column to a managed property in search. So down here, you'll see at the very bottom, we've got OWS document status. We've also got document type for the next refinable string, etc. But the key thing here is to choose the property which starts with OWS underscore and then the internal name of your metadata column. So or your site column. Once you've done that, you then need to wait because once we've added that into the search schema, it doesn't actually get any data in it until we've actually created some content and that content has been crawled. So what I normally do is create the site column, map the site column to the managed property like I've just shown you, add some content into my library, make sure it's tagged with the values, and then go into the library settings. And in the library settings under advanced, what we can do in here is we can tell SharePoint to crawl this content. So under the advanced settings, we'll go down and we'll just go reindex the content. We go into here, we tick the little box here. Reading this, of course, avoid doing this on massive libraries because it just takes a lot of time to happen. And also, it's like if you want a nice quick turnaround, a few documents is good for this. And then I just tell it here that they've had a change in the schema. This is just so that Microsoft has an idea of what your reasoning was for doing the reindex. The most common one from my point of view is schema change like we've just done. So then we wait, usually within half an hour. So go away, have a break, come back to it. And when you come back to it, you'll be able to then go and do some configuration using PnP Modern Search. So PnP Modern Search is a set of web parts that you can add to your SharePoint site. They're an open source project. So you start by adding these into your SharePoint app catalog. In fact, once we go into our, let's go actually back to here to our admin center and under apps, what I've done here is I've added that into my app catalog. Again, you need to be a SharePoint admin to be able to do this step. And once you've done that step, you'll be able to then go into here and you'll see And here I've got my PnP Modern Search I've uploaded. There's a slightly newer version, so I need to update this, but 14.16 I think is the current version. Once you've done that, the web parts then become available in your app, in your web part gallery. So if we go and edit this page, we can do the configuration. So I'll just point out the three web parts we've got here. We've got a search box, search results, and search refiners over here, or search filters. So let's just go and edit this, and we'll show you how this is all connected to each other. Before we do that, we'll just have a quick look at the gallery just to show you what the web parts are that relate to PnP. So if I just go into one of my sections here, just going to go add a web part. And if I just search for PnP, which stands for Patterns in Practice, for those that don't know. So you'll see the different web parts here. I'm not using the search roll-up or the verticals, although you could use these in if you wanted to get add some more functionality. So what I'm going to do is I'll start with the search result web part, search box web part. So the search box is where I type my search term in, and you'll see in here it's got control document search as the text. If I just edit this web part, it's got a very simple configuration. Edit the web part, not the section. You'll see it's got a very simple configuration here. I'm just using this control. I've just put some text in here for control document search so people know what it is they're searching for. So now I've got a search box on my page. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to connect that to a result web part. So the result web part will show results based on whatever I type into that box. Okay. So, and I've done a bit of extra configuration here. So first thing I've done is I've chosen SharePoint Search. And then down here in the query template, I've included my site URL, the URL to my published documents library. So this means it's only going to search published documents and not not the documents which are in the master library. So I want to make sure that the person searching here only sees the published versions. And then the last thing I've done is I've gone, is document is true, true. What that does is that filters out any results that are not documents. So for example, if I had a folder inside my control document library, my published library, it wouldn't show the folder and the result. The next thing I've done down here is I've just left the default local SharePoint results. In the selected properties, what I did was I went into here and I typed in refinable string, and then the refinable string number from my property that I mapped up here. And and then pressed enter. What that does is that adds it to the list of available properties. And then if I scroll right down, you'll see that I have selected these ones here. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is these selected items are the ones which come through in an actual search result and you can refine on. If you don't select them, then they won't be available and the system won't work. So make sure you've done that. The next piece of the puzzle is that down on the next page, I've chosen details. You can use different card layouts. So you could choose a card layout or a list or even a custom layout. You can also use debug if you want to see if there's anything like why the metadata is not coming through. Maybe the values haven't populated yet. By choosing the debug option, you can see the actual metadata values for those different selected fields coming through. So then what I've done down here, because I've gone and chosen this detailed list, I went down into my managed columns and I added my two refinable columns here, my department and document type, and then I specified the width down here. So I just put a label and then chose the field, and that just adds those to the display template. So that's this bit here. And then on the third page is where the magic happens. In here, what I've done is I've used a text input. I've told it to be dynamic, and then I've chosen my web part and the search query value from that web part. And then I've also, so that's what brings the result that you type, or the query that you type into the search box through into the result. So that's connecting those two bits. And then I needed to complete the operation by connecting the filter web part. So I've turned on connect filters and selected my filter web part. And then if I scroll over here to this one, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to edit this one. You'll see in here, I've told it to use the search result web part. So now it's connecting the search box is connected to the result. The result is connected to the filter. Now, in my filters, I've gone into here and I've added my refinable strings again. So I've gone in here and put, this is my document type one. This field's a bit funny, but if I go down here and I've specified the refinable string associated with my document type, I've also got the modified date, and you'll see that I've used checkboxes for the first two and a date interval for the bottom one. That allows me to find things perhaps that change within a date range, which is quite nice in some scenarios. So what was recently changed. Then I've changed one more thing. I've made this an and down here instead of an or. By default, it's an or, which means if I select form or manufacturing, it will find documents with either of those two tags. What I want them is to find both. So once I've done all of those configuration changes, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back up here, republish my page. And now, okay, so now that we have got all of our search configured, let's give it a wee test. So I've got 13 documents in my published document library, and I can do a variety of different things. So I can start with a simple one. So for example, if I wanted to find a form, I could click form, and then I could filter by department. So if I want to find manufacturing, I can find it that way. So that works, and you'll see it's an and, not an or. I could also go and look at by typing in a term. So if I typed in procedure, for example, it will find procedures, and you'll see it's changed the filtering on the side over here so that I don't have things where there's no result that matches. So then if I wanted to go and find the operations procedures, I can do that, and I've got 3. So as you can see, quite a simple user interface for our end users, but it's been pulled together by using those site columns mapped to our content types. Site columns use it with the managed property, and PnP Search. And now if I add any new documents in the future and they're tagged, within a few minutes of those being loaded into my published library, they'll show up in the search result. And that creates our great end-to-end search experience for our end users. If you do have any questions about some of the setup, you may need to go back and watch video number 1 in this series where I create the initial site columns and content types. But other than that, if you've enjoyed this video, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Hopefully it's been useful, and I'll need to figure out now what we're